As much as we don't want to admit it, headphone ports are probably going away. For the past year or so, flagship smartphones and tablets have gotten rid of the 3.5mm jack in lieu of the Type-C port. And because they are using Type-C, it means they are completely digital, and they should technically have cleaner sound than analog 3.5mm based earphones. At least that's the concept of having Type-C headsets in the first place. When Type-C headsets first rolled out, again about a year or two ago, they were still very expensive. Even not so great pairs sold for $50 to $100 a pop. But now we're starting to see lower prices, and the one that we have today is actually made by Huawei. It's the CM33 that has high-res audio certification, so that means it has a wide enough frequency range, should technically give you enough detail in the sound, and it sells for only $15. That makes it the most inexpensive Type-C earphones that we've seen yet. Now, on this channel, we've only checked out two other Type-C pair of earbuds specifically, one which is made by Xiaomi, kind of Huawei's biggest competitor in a sense. These also offer built-in active noise cancellation. So all the instructions and specs are again printed in Chinese, but essentially it does have specs like a frequency range of 20 to 20,000 hertz. Cable length is about 1.2 meters long, which is again pretty average. A lot of this is printed with soy ink, so it should be pretty eco-friendly. And there's a sticker on the side as well that you can peel off and scratch off to see if it's an authentic product. So the CM33 do have a integrated microphone, which is a nice little extra feature that allows you to answer phone calls when you connect it to an Android device. You can also play, pause, and control your music that way. Furthermore, if you have it plugged into a compatible Huawei phone, such as the Mate 10 Pro or the Mate 9, you can also use some sound enhancements through the software that is compatible with these earbuds, supposedly. The design is very similar to something like an Apple AirPod, and it looks almost exactly the same as the free Type-C earbuds that you get bundled with a flagship phone from Huawei. Again, we have the inline mic, in addition to a play pause key that I can tap on twice to answer or reject a phone call, as well as volume controls and the Huawei logo on the other side. Moving to performance, I was actually pleasantly surprised by these. I wasn't expecting the quality to be very good at all, perhaps matching the pairs that you get for free with the Mate 10 Pro. However, they actually are better. The most noticeable difference is there's no longer that static or noise if you listen really closely. So very typically with USB Type-C headphones, at least out of the three that I've tested, whenever you plug it in and you're not playing any music, you can still hear a very small kind of white noise in the background. It's a humming that isn't completely quiet. Furthermore, I found the volume to be actually very rich and loud. Even at the most quiet setting, so volume 1 out of 10, it still was loud enough for my hearing compared to the Xiaomi and the Newbie where I had to turn up to about volume 3 or 4 to hear as much volume. As far as earbuds are concerned, they do pack the biggest punch in the lower frequencies I've tested in a very long time. You'll hear almost immediately, whether it's an EDM track where it's extremely prominent, or if you're just watching a basic film or just some regular pop music, you hear the drum beats a lot more prominently using these. It's not overpowering, but it definitely is a pleasant surprise. With that being said, they definitely aren't the best when it comes to noise isolation, just because these tips, although they fit in very comfortably in my testing, they're very lightweight, they stayed pretty snug. Because they don't have a silicone seal, they can still occasionally leak sound in from the outside world, and your music, if it's too loud, can also pass through so other people will be able to hear it. Still, they're comfortable, and again, the audio quality is much better than expected and really does live up to that high-res audio certification. Again, very surprising considering the super budget price that we're talking about here. The inline remote also works quite well. It's very tactile and easy to use. I can just tap on it once and it pauses the track even on YouTube, as well as Netflix, as well as double-clicking to skip track and long holding the center here to access Google Now and other voice assistants. And again, it does get very loud, so I can turn it up. That's been in the news very frequently over the past few months. One thing I do have to point out though is they aren't necessarily compatible with all the sound enhancement functions, even on a Huawei device. So this is a Huawei M5 tablet, and if we go over into sound profiles, you can see that it recognizes that we've plugged in headphones, and the high listen sound effects are technically on, but it says that the headsets are not compatible with some of these enhancements. Finally, I'll say that in terms of power consumption, they seem to be doing all right. In general, Type-C headphones draw more power than 3.5 millimeters, so I could still get roughly 95 to 96% of the battery utility out of my device before it drained, compared to using a regular pair of headphones. So you can check out more details about the Huawei CM33 series of USB Type-C super low-cost earbuds in the links down below, but for now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. Overall, I have to say these are definitely recommended. If you're just looking for a low-cost pair of Type-C earbuds and you're tired of using a dongle, they actually sound really good. They have great bass response, they're extremely loud, and sound quality is generally very impressive for only 15 bucks. The only downsides include the fact that compatibility seems to be a little iffy when it comes to sound enhancements, as well as the build, which is still on the plasticky side. So be sure to check out more details, but that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.